Amazing, amazing, amazing. A very good morning from wherever you're watching us from. And welcome to the Relationship Talk Show with me, Sylvia Wanja. Now I trust and hope ya kwamba umeweza kuamka vizuri. And again, as I always say hapa ndani ya the Relationship Talk Show, if you've woken up, you've seen the day of today, that means God has a plan in store for you. So kiamka, amka na asante, and then ask God to guide your every step so that you live according to His purpose, you live in accordance to His will. Okay? Amazing. Now I hope you still have that gratitude book that we talked about. We've talked about it. Sijaiguzia for a while, but I want to confirm kama bado tuko pamoja. Tulisema kila siku kiamka, you pick your gratitude book, write 3 things. Peke yake, si mingi, 3 things that you're grateful for. Utaona the many blessings that you have, and this will help shift your mindset. Kama umekuwa ukiona mambo zina happen ni mbaya, mambo mbaya, nini, the moment you wake up and the first thing is just gratitude, it'll set your mood for the rest of the day. So, I hope you're still feeling in just 3 things that you're grateful for. It could be the physical things. It could be the superficial things that yenyewezi guza kama grace. You're grateful for favor. You're grateful for mercy. There's so many things that you can be grateful for. So, ukiamka, amka na asante, okay? Today being the 17th of June, 2025, it's another beautiful morning, and we're here ndani ya Relationship Talk Show to talk about matters relationship. But today's episode, today's show is very, very important, and it's a show that we really need to have because of everything that is happening on social media. Everywhere you go, hawezi kosa hii story. Na kama wewe ni mfuatilizi ama you are a candid follower of MBCI TV, na ushaona the topic that we're going to be discussing today because iko kwa mtandao, and the topic that we're discussing is on stress management. Unajua wakati mwingi you're having a conversation with someone, uko aje, anakuambia we niko na stress. So we want to know, stress, is it possible to manage it? Like, what levels should I get to ndo nijue, hapa ni pabaya, I need to figure out a way. Is there a way to live without stress? Ama anything to do with stress? That is what we're going to discuss today. So make sure that you send in your questions so that we can have a chance to look at them as we're discussing about stress management. And remember, MBCI TV is on all social media platforms. So please make sure that you follow, and my social media handles are at official Sylvia Wanja. Reach out and we can have a conversation right there. Again, MBCI comprise of TV and radio. So if you are not able to follow through with what we are doing on TV, you can always tune into radio and you can have an amazing time there. Kuna amazing shows, timely news for you as a believer, so that even as we are praying for the nation, even as we're praying for our lives, we can know what is happening around us. Not tuongeze kama prayer points. Ama vipi? Amazing. So maybe we can take the question of the day before we introduce the guest that we have today with us. And the question that we're going to be discussing is it possible to live a stress-free life? Again, I take it. Is it possible to live a stress-free life? Now, you can support your response. Useme yes, utuambie kwa nini. Useme no, utuambie kwa nini. And if you want to remain anonymous, it's still okay. We don't have to share your name. Just share with us your own opinion. Wewe ukiangalia venye tumeishi life up until this far, is it possible useme kabisa sina stress hata kidogo, maisha yangu iko sawa? Okay? So do that using our number 0721105105. That is WhatsApp, and also normal text message 23814 short code, which is absolutely free. And MBCI TV Facebook page down in the comment section, and MBCI YouTube official down in the comment section. And later within the show, we'll be getting a chance to look at it. I know stress management is a very, very key topic in our everyday life. So hata si ya watu specific, it's for each and every one of us. So again, if you have a friend and you feel like this show will impact them, tell a friend to tell a friend, so that to tune in pamoja, tuweze kujifunza kuhusu stress management and how best we can be able to live despite the so many stresses that are there in life. There's so many things that are happening, from the economy to our personal lives, in our homes, in our places of work, in our schools. So much is happening, okay? So, karibia ili uweze kujua, yes, shida zitakuja, lakini how best can I be able to manage everything and move? So, ladies and gentlemen, MBCI family, I introduce to you Dr. Lydia Muchai. Hello.
Hello.
A very good morning.
Morning to you, madam.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you for honoring our invite and coming.
Thank you too.
Yes, it's an honor having you here.
Thank you.
Yes. Maybe uko na salamu unataka kusalimia viewers before we get started?
Wow.
Yes.
Our honorable viewers, good morning.
Yes.
Praise the Lord.
Amen.
We are privileged to be here with you.
Yes.
And we are glad that you have tuned in. And you are our honorable viewers and listeners.
Yes.
Let's work together. Let's talk together.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Amazing. So we're talking about stress management. Hii ni story ambayo inaongelewa kila mahali kwa mtandao. A lot is being said about stress. And stress has led so many people into very extreme places, like mtu anajaribu ku avoid stress and get into drug addiction. There's so many things that are associated with stress. Maybe we can start from the beginning and maybe define what stress is.
Different scholars have defined it differently.
Yeah.
But I want to bring it down to what you can understand.
Yes.
If you hear somebody saying, I am stressed up, what they are all telling us in their terms, that whatever they have gone through, the demands made on them, they are unable to meet or they are unable to cope.
Yeah.
So if somebody is stressed up, their perception of what happened to them is telling them that this is too much for myself.
Yeah, I can't
to
handle
any
it.
other person, this story may be different. But to the person who is speaking, because feelings and experiences are personal, they are stressed. At times you may look at them and wonder, is there any, whatever has happened to him or to her?
It's very small.
It's very small. But to the person,
it's big.
He doesn't have what is needed. He is inadequate to handle the situation as he is saying, as she is saying. So if you hear somebody saying that I'm stressed up, I'm stressed, know that the demands made on him or her, he is not able to meet. What he's perceiving, at times it's perception, and this is why we require maybe to help them, maybe to redefine what has happened, but it is important that we respect their feelings, because it is them that are feeling their stress.
Very true.
Yes.
And you cannot put a label, useme hiyo yako ni kidogo sana, because it's specific to them.
It is very specific, and feelings are specific.
Yeah.
And because even other factors play in, because have I gone through this issue again? If it is a second issue, then you have what it is, what it takes to cope. But if we are going, for example, if you lose a close relative for the first time, it's like hell has broken loose. But with the time, you can actually see yourself, seeing how you coped, and you are able to apply that this has happened, and this is the time for mourning. I have lost a loved one, and I know how I'm going to seek for help, or how I'm going to handle it. So with that, it is important we allow people to express their feelings freely, openly, and we also respect their feelings, and then we help them from that perspective. I think I've loved the point on respecting feelings, because especially right now, not many people have that, I don't know, I would say, uchungu ama yo, I don't know, like, hawataki ku reason, ama could step into someone else's shoes, so they don't respect your emotions. You might come to friends sad, you're trying to share something, then they make a joke of it, ama they make fun of it, especially on social media. But we're going to get to that bit. Now, when we talk about stress management, most people want to shy away from talking about it. Says it imekuwa normalized, but you know, stress is the root cause of some very, very terrible things like depression, suicide, anxiety. So how important is it, ama what's the importance of talking about stress management? I want to say, we know that information is power. And when we are educated, we will have the necessary information that we can use in case of stress. It is also important to learn about stress management, because you will hear and know that this is what happens, and this is how I should handle it. But for example, if we do not teach people on stress management, and maybe, for example, you realize that maybe you have you had a relationship, and especially partners. Let me talk about spouses. This relationship, and then somebody walk out on it. I hear you people saying ghosting, that you are left there alone, and you are left in a parking You have not, nobody has communicated to you, and they have gone. They have not told you that we are not together, but they are not communicating. They are not giving you a way forward. If you do not know how to cope with that, you can find yourself as the whole world is against you, and as if you are alone. But if you have got mechanisms, steps that you can take, for example, you can reframe. I am not the first or the last to be left. Others have done it. You have heard stories. Others have done it. I'll be there. I was there before the relationship. I'll be there after this. And maybe because I allowed myself to love, I can also love again. So rather than leave it at that point, or even start self-condemnation on what you didn't do, what you did that was not right, and he has not told you what you didn't do right. It is important to stop reading people's mind, because you never get it right, like thinking, why did he leave? You never get it right. So the best you can do, identify what is within my control. In this case, I usually say, one thing, and a very important point for all of us, that I can today decide to feel what I want to feel. I can decide, just like I've heard you saying, gratitude. I can decide to feel good. And if I decide to feel good, like you are saying, gratitude, if I start identifying 3 or 4 things that God has done to me, my body has got mechanism to start producing, we talk of endorphins and dopamine in psychology. These hormones will make myself feel good, irrespective of the fact that I have been ghosted, I have been put in a parking, and life can still continue.
Life can still move on. So it's not the end of the day. Hapo kwa ghosting, Dr. Muchai, hiyo ni shida kubwa sana, especially among the young people. So I don't know, maybe we can organize another session altogether so that we can talk about ghosting, because I know it's a real issue that so many young people are being affected in. And now, what are some common stresses that are there in our lives?
There are many, but we can highlight a few. Maybe one source of stress is a major life change. For example, it will not happen to any one of us, but you can lose a parent, a mother, a father, a child, or even a partner. Because I have witnessed somebody, we were planning a wedding in 2 weeks' time. We had even planned for a pre-wedding. We had even made pledges, but that time one partner passed on. So that can actually be very, very stressful moment for the partner who has been left behind. So that can be one cause. You can also be, you can find yourself getting involved in an accident, and you realize that the girl, the beautiful girl, the person who used to take himself or herself to school or to work, you can no longer do that. That can actually be a source of stress. You can also contact a chronic disease. You are diagnosed with cancer, diabetes. That can be a source of stress. You can also be in a relationship and somebody can leave you. You can also be divorced. There are people who are walking out of the marriages, either. I've seen either. The ladies walking out, leaving the man with children. Nowadays, it's very interesting that ladies are walking out.
Dynamics have changed.
And they are leaving the father with the children. And this is very stressful for the man because he doesn't understand why you leave him to go to another man. It is very, very stressful. Even parenting the adolescents. I'm telling you, for the parents that are handling adolescents, they require to be educated. And this is why we are discussing stress management. Even for those parents, they should know that our stage has reached. I usually say you are not a parent until you parent teenagers. It is important, you know, a stage has reached. And now you are parenting teenagers. You can also have workplace stress, the manager, the colleagues, and especially those people that are very good in speaking about other people in place of work. But I usually educate myself, and I wish you take it, that allow people to use their mouth properly. Let them talk, let them eat using their mouth. It's okay, allow them to talk. But you can only put a boundary when they bring the issues to you, but allow them, give them space to speak. They're speaking about you because you're ahead of them. You are not with them. So allow them, give them. That's why they speak behind your back, because you are ahead of them. Give them that allowance.
To do that.
It is also important if you have got maybe bottomed anger. And maybe at home there are home issues that are not adding up. Finances is, and especially with today's economy,
it's not.
Please, let's do financial management. Let's scale down. Let's be realistic. So that we can meet the gap, because there are gaps to be met with our finances.
Very true.
But I still believe there is an exception, because God has talked about exception for the believers. He says, the just shall live by faith. Even during this critical time of economic crisis, there should be an exception for those that love the Lord. But it is important when it comes to finances. Please lead your life. Allow others to be, and no comparison with your friends, wherever you are, whether it is school, whether it is in workplace, whether it is parenting. Don't take your child to a school that you are going to take alone to educate. Please, just live within your means. That would be helpful. It will help you to manage a financial management. A bit of financial stress that comes out of financial issues.
And that is a very big stress, especially with this economy, just like you have said. And when you've mentioned about the financial stress, I remembered something someone said in a workshop about finances. He was saying, he was emphasizing, if you can't buy something twice, don't buy it. If you can't afford to buy it twice, leave it. It's stressing you. So if you can't afford to buy something twice, acha pressure. Comparison is not good. Everyone is in their own race. Everyone is in their own journey. You are on chapter 1 of your book. Mwingine ako 33. You can't compare their 33 to your 1. Okay? So baby steps, slowly, you'll keep on growing, and you'll get to that point whereby you flourish. Amazing. So we've talked about some of the common stresses that are there. And you've mentioned the very common ones that cut across almost all of us. So these stresses, they happen to us. Let's start from there. Is it possible for someone to live life without stress?
It is not possible. No more, because we have got the 3 different levels of stress. There is the normal stress and the 2 other levels. Normal stress is welcome for all of us so that we can grow. For example, if I do not appreciate the fact that I would like to save a little bit more so that I can move from either lentils to a better place, or even from a single room to a bed-sitter or something like that, I need to realize that is stress so that I can also think of saving more. If it is in parenting, if I don't feel the pressure of bringing up children, I will not think of better ways of handling them so that I will not experience the stress. So that that normal stress will allow me to think about what is it, do I need to read more? For example, you are supposed to add your knowledge on parenting as your children grow. For example, we tend to talk so much to the young children than to the adolescents. Adolescents,
we fail to talk to them.
We don't talk to them, and they want to be talked to. They want more conversation, not shouting. They say we shout to them, not shouting, not giving them, instructions. They want candid talk. And so it is important you note that we need normal stress so that we can go for whatever else we need so that we can become better. Otherwise, if we live without stress, then life will be very boring.
We need that wake-up call.
Wake-up call so that you can do things different. you can also become creative, so that you can decide what is it, for example, what is it that I must do different from bringing up these children from the other, or what is it that I would like to know how to handle this fled than the other one. What is it I need, because I found that colleague called she's reacting to me different, and I didn't feel good yesterday.
Yeah.
So as opposed to so and so, maybe you used the same question, but one of them reacted negatively to you, the other one didn't. That stress will allow you to think twice of how to address that particular person. Not only that person, you will improve on your communication.
Wow.
So you will learn how to handle things differently. With a little stress, you will know that, I cannot use the same strategy to speak, even when I'm giving instruction. Even children, they are people, if you tell them slowly, if you tell them with, when your voice is raised, they'll say you are shouting, and another one is okay. So you need to understand these different reactions. That will be a wake-up call for us, that we need to redefine our communication. We need to redefine how we relate. You can even call your friends by phone, and somebody tells you, I need, you could have told me 2 weeks ago so that I can learn. And you feel like, oh, this is a person who requires. At times you might feel that you are offended, but if you sit down, you know this is a different type of, is very procedural. You cannot just tell her, wake up, we go. This person requires planning. And another one, anakuliza, lini. So that kind of learning, you can only learn it when you are in a setup, and you have hit a level of stress that requires you to redefine the way you do things. And with that, you grow. Yes.
So it's very important to have that stress. Now that I even think about it in some particular situations, or in some particular scenarios whereby there's, let me say, every day, in order for you to be able to wake up and to be able to go to work, in order for you to go try something new, there has to be that level of stress, ama that anxiety kidogo tu yenye na kupush to make those big decisions in your life, whether it is waking up in the morning to go for that job, kuna hiyo stress ya lazima nifike job mapema. So that helps you make sure that you are there on time. It helps you make sure that you do what you ought to at the right time. So these stresses, they're not so bad. They push you towards growth, towards accepting change, towards understanding more different things. So, so stress is good. It's not all bad.
It's not all bad.
Okay.
It's not all bad.
It helps you.
It helps you to grow. It helps you to be creative. It also helps you to be to build capacity within yourself. And you also know the areas that you need to work on. At times you also, for example, if I've got a conflict with somebody, you know, it will give you stress. But
how do I
if
solve
you
it?
think, because of this particular conflict, if you think that you also contributed to this conflict, you will feel a little bit more responsible, and most likely you learn something. You will not repeat that mistake again, because you know, and you still feel better that rather than complain, you also know you had a stake too in it.
There's something that you did.
You also contributed to the conflict.
And you will know that now, in order for me not to create such havoc again, this is what I need to do, or this is what I need not to do. Amazing. And now that we've talked about stress being healthy, it helps us grow, it helps us be creative, it helps us make decisions better. At what point does it get unhealthy?
Wow. A very important question. Because it is important we identify at what level. Because there are indicators that your stress is not healthy. Number one, if you find that your sleeping pattern has changed. There are people who are heavy sleepers. You find that the way you used to sleep, it is like you are not sleeping well. if you are those type that sleep very well, that you require to set your phone, you require an alarm to wake up. Now you find yourself during the night, you are planning and you're not sleeping comfortably. There are others who might, rather than not sleep well, they oversleep. So instead of you are a person who is able to organize yourself, you are able to wake up, you are able to find, you are like those people that are able to wake up, to pray, to wake up, organize their day, to wake up for workout. You find yourself, you cannot connect. You have to be woken up by an alarm. Then know that you are not normal. You are not there. Sleeping patterns. One. Two, if you realize that you are a person, you are eating habits. You are eating habits. There are people who are very good with food. They can really eat. They can eat breakfast, tea break, lunch. And you realize that you are no longer finding the appetite
to eat.
That is a red flag that you are not eating. Those that are good in eating food. There are people who do not struggle with the food.
They have good appetite.
They have good appetite. The opposite can be true. That you realize that it's like you have no energy. You do not want to eat anything. Even you will put tea in a cup, and you're unable to pick that tea and drink. You cannot even finish up a cup of tea.
There's a problem.
It is a problem. Leave alone tea, even lunch, you feel I have no appetite completely. That can actually be a red flag. You can also find out, number three, another factor is that you can also find yourself getting easily irritated. Agitated. Most likely, I'm sure you have come across somebody who was asked something, and the answer they gave is very unproportional to what was
asked.
Yeah,
true.
You can also, something can be done to you by a colleague, and you outburst. You even wonder, what is it that
made me do that?
Already anger outburst. You can even hear somebody, it's like he's giving the other person instruction, msomo, mpaka unashindwa hili toka wapi, why do I require this? Ananisomea, do I require this lecture?
At this point, what have I done?
At this particular time. You can also find yourself the things you used to love. Kama you are a person who loves music, you are a prayer reader, you unasikia kama unagoga mwamba, hutaki, you have no need of this. Failing to love things that you used to love.
There's a problem.
It is a problem. You can also realize that for example, you start isolating.
You want to be alone.
You want to be alone, and you can be alone even you have no energy of coming out of your bed. Even coming out of your bed, it's like you require somebody to come and put you out of your bed. You have no energy. I have handled cases like that. So it is you can also find a lot of hopelessness, and it's like everything is falling apart. And you have no hope for tomorrow. And you can also find yourself becoming suicidal. So stress can actually drive you to that level. So it is important to note that you can even become sick. Literally.
Because of stress.
You go to the hospital, they look for you, all the tests,
scan,
and nothing. And at times you are given Panados or Brufen, and you are told, go and rest, take this, you know. The doctors will never tell you that they have not given you treatment. But they will give you Panados and multivitamin. You go and take this medicine, you'll be okay. But they also tell you, try to relax. Right there. But they are telling you, wewe
una shida ingine, ni stress.
So you can also find yourself, once in a while, you can find yourself that in such cases that you are very pessimistic. Unaona, everything you feel, everything, I have nothing is adding up. Even, you can hear somebody, Kwani, you know, the way they're answering, please don't entertain toxic friends. They can actually spread. Actually, they can, if you work with somebody who talks negative throughout, please, you'll be sick, just as they are sick. So it is important to note what is it that you are feeding yourself, because even feeding on negative information and dealing with people that are negative, you might find yourself almost thinking
negatively.
They tell us bad company
It ruins
good morals. It is important you watch out.
Wow, I've loved what you said about being careful of those we keep around us. If you keep staying around someone who is talking about negative things, ata utashika tu you're negative. You'll find yourself everywhere you go, that is what you say. Because again, birds of the same feather flock together. Yes, you might be positive for now, but it's just a matter of time before they start influencing you. Ata unajipata, we uko tu kila kitu ni negative. Yeah? Okay. And when it comes to stress, there's this common term ambayo imekuwa ikirudiwa sana, especially on social media, about burnout. That burnout is one other cause. Stress. Now, is there a way to maybe identify burnout before it gets to the point of causing unhealthy forms of stress?
I want to say burnout is a point where you find yourself, if it's, your place of work, you find you are spent out completely.
Tired.
And you do not want to see the people, the place.
You don't want anything.
You do not want anything to do with them. But among the things that you should have learned before we reach there, it is important that you identify you have got stress, work stress,
what kind of stress do you have?
Because it's work stress, it is burnout is stress that is related with what you are doing until you are unable to cope. But majority of the issues that bring out burnout is the fact that you have not established boundaries. With the people that are working at home, it is very tricky because now you are no longer limited by the 8 hour, 8 to 5. You can even work during the night. So it is important, and I want to say this one is very important. You establish boundaries. What time do I work? What am I doing during work time? So that you do not carry work home. And you also balance work and your life, personal life, so that you have got boundaries. And I usually say, my policy as myself, that I usually say, I need myself before I am needed by anyone. So that when I feel that I am not stable, I will isolate or I'll draw myself from the crowd so that I energize. And I usually say, if there is a word called yes, there is also a word called no. So no is an answer as yes is an answer. So when it comes to burnout, it is important to note that you do not have to take all responsibilities. If you are a manager, please delegate and delegate properly. There are people who delegate and bado, they follow. Please, if you delegate, allow those people you have delegated to do work, although delegation does not mean that you do not follow on what they need. If they need any facilitation, if they need any support, you support them.
Yeah.
So it is important you understand what is it that am I supposed to do, what responsibilities should I take, and which ones I should not take. And it is important you also, in your program, you create a place for self-care. Because the moment you allow that mixture of no balance between your personal life and work life, then you will be in a state of burnout. So it is important you establish boundaries. When do I, if you have to carry work home, at what time? If you're working from home, please create time for self-care, create time for the family, create time for yourself, create time for connecting with other people, because you need other people, significant others. Friends are important. Friends are important. So create time for yourself and the work. Create boundaries between yourself and work. And if you give yourself self-care, even prayer, reading the Bible, if you do not have a spiritual aspect in your life, you will still run amok. You'll be mad. It is important that you have got, human beings, they have a need for spirituality. So it is always important to know that you require the spirit being to be nourished as the physical being is being nourished, so that you can also grow all-round person. You become a holistic being in all aspects and in all areas of your life. Wow, amazing. And would you say that there's some cases whereby your personal life can affect your work? And if that happens, if maybe your personal life is one that is bringing stress on this other end, how do you manage it? I want to say that you must have a to-do list. That what is it I must do? What is it can wait? What is it other people can do? What is it I can completely do away with? Because at times there are things that we do that we can find that they are, for example, if you do not manage your time properly, then you are late for work. That one alone is stressful, because you have created, if you are late for work, if you are a teacher or you are a presenter and you are late for work, somebody must step in, because the system will not shut down because you are absent. And then you have also created stress, because by the time you are coming, it's like you are running because you are late. And you also realize that you are going to make a lot of mistakes because you do not have enough time for preparation. You also find yourself, you are stressed up. You will not be available for other people. Even relationship will still be a problem. So the best you can do is that I put a boundary. What activities am I supposed to do at work? What activities am I supposed to do as a person? For example, my relationship at home, my relationship with my children, with my family, with my friends. And when I come to the place of work, am I able to do my work completely and efficiently? If I fail to do, I will affect my colleagues, I will affect the system, I will be stressed up, because maybe I'll be called by my HOD, I'll be given a letter, a so-called letter. All these will affect me. So if I want to be on the safe side, let me have proper time management. And I want to say this because we have got generations, you know, the current generation is like hard work is far off. Thank God for technology. Technology that is able to help us in a number of things. But I still believe that there is a place for time management. There is a place for efficiency. There is a place for commitment. There is a place for responsibility. So that you know that this is clearly under my care, and nobody else will do it, so that I do not have to affect other people, so that I'll create a conducive environment with my team that I'm working with.
Yeah.
Very, very important. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. I've loved what you've said about the differences in generations, the generational gaps. We have the Gen Zs nowadays when you're soft life.
Yeah.
Sitaki kitu yote ngumu. If
Yeah.
anything brings me stress, I'm doing away with it. But now it's part of the process.
Yeah.
You have to be willing to go through the process,
Yeah.
and you have to be willing to take responsibility. Do what you ought to do at the time that you're supposed to do it. It's
Yeah.
not going to be an easy ride.
Yeah.
No one said it's going to be easy, but you have to be willing to step into those shoes, whether it's time management, whether it's working hard, whatever it is that you need to do, being efficient in the work that you do, you have to be willing to put in the work so that it can work, okay? Amazing. So we went to the streets and asked people whether it's possible for someone to live a stress-free life, especially in the times that we are in. A lot is happening globally, from social media to the consumption of negative news. So much is happening. So let us get to hear what they have to say, and then we'll be coming back to react to what they have shared with us. So let us get to hear what people have to say about stress in our everyday life.
Stress is everywhere, at work, in relationship, while looking for money, as well as social media. But some say peace is all about mindset and balance. We are on the streets asking people, is a stress-free life real or just a dream? So come with me, let's hear what people have to say. My name is Irene Maina.
Tuseme ukuwa tu busy, vile mimi niko busy hivi, stress kupata ni ngumu. Alafu kitu ya pili, stress kitaka iishe, unakuwa mtu wa church, unaona? Unakuwa church every Sunday. Alafu unakuwa mtu wa read the Bible, kusoma Biblia. Alafu kitu ingine, diet inaweza fanya ukose kuwa na stress. Alafu ingine ukuwa na kazi, stress nayo inaisha, hauwezi kuwa na stress. Alafu kuwa na mabesti wenye wako hawana ni tuseme mnakaa vizuri bila kitu yoyote, mnaelewana, hiyo stress nayo inaisha.
I can say that like nowadays in this country and actually in the whole country, we have seen there's a lot of challenges. One, financial challenges. With financial challenges, you must be subjected to stress. The only thing that you have to do is to know how you are going to navigate the stress so that maybe it cannot bring you down, maybe it does not go and become depression. Yeah. Another thing is that in the family setup, sometimes what you expect from your spouse, your husband or your wife or your children, turns out to be is not the one you get. Maybe you expected your spouse to treat you well even when you have financial problems. For example, you had a car, your children were going to a private school, an expensive private school, but nowadays you don't have a job, so you find that you sell the car and maybe go to a small house. So you find that maybe your lady, your wife, is not able, does not accept that issue. So you find that it becomes a very great challenge. You have to undergo stress. There are a lot of people even committing suicide because of those stress challenges in the family.
Mtu kuishi bila stress inakuwa ngumu, kwa sababu kama mwanadamu unapokuwa unaishi, kuna mambo ambayo unawazia, na cha kwanza lazima tujue stress ni nini. Stress inajua kwamba wakati mtu ana wingi wa mawazo, lakini wakati mtu una majukumu, lazima utakuwa na kitu cha kuwazia. Pengine tuseme mtoto mdogo, kwa sababu yeye hana majukumu, lakini mtu ambaye una majukumu ya kufanya, lazima utawaza. So utaona kwamba ni ngumu mtu kukaa bila kuwaza ama kufikiria ama kupangia jambo.
Mwanadamu hawezi kaa bila stress. Unahangaika, in the process ya kuhangaika kutafuta your livelihoods, unapata na stress. Sababu sio kila wakati unapata chenye unatafuta.
Mtu kama kwa mfano kama mimi, naweza kaa nikifanya kazi na sitakuwa na solution, mtu ananisumbua. Naweza kaa nikifanya kazi nikijua nini ambayo inanisaidia on future.
Nice. So we've had to hear what people have to say about stress, and according to majority of the people, they are convinced that you can't live without stress because there's so many factors around us that zinaleta your impact ya stress. So maybe Dr. Lydia, we can talk about what we have just watched. about people and their perspectives on stress.
I agree with them.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And I think we are all together in this. It's only that maybe I can add up that in the midst of this, the perception about trusting in God, in the midst of all these things, if you trust in God, God is not limited as we are. When you think that He can help you, things can be different tomorrow. Thinking positively itself help you to feel good at that particular moment. I do not want to say that we stop at the thinking, because you can still do something positive and address your current stress. And I want to say that among the stress management issues I know we will talk about is that what is it that I can do to avoid it? For example, if it's a relationship, for example, those that are in families, if it is your relationship with your children or with your partner, and because you cannot talk about other people, it is about me, your small contribution in it, what is it that I can do? For example, if it is my partner, and we have lived for some time, and I know that my partner does not like the following, I will avoid things that will trigger to bring stressful, maybe outbursts. And I can do my small bit. I can actually control my bit. I can take responsibility of my small field. They usually say that if you sweep your corridor, the whole world will be clean. So if you do your bit, just do what you're able to do. If it's my children, and especially those that are tricky, even the young ones, I want to say even the young ones, those that have little children, if you plan with them in mind, you know that they require, if it is their needs are adequately met. When I talk of adequately, it is at your level. If there is something they need to take, if they want to be checked, if they want your availability, you are there for them. If you plan with them and you put your resources, you become intentional in bringing them up, I'm sure you'll be addressing a future stress to a level. If it's the teenagers, everybody wants to be affirmed. They want to be told that they are trying, even when the grades are not good. They usually say, please love us, irrespective of the grades. A few of them might not be very good because they are so struggling with their changes, the physical changes that they are going through. They are not, they cannot control it. They do not know what to do with themselves. Please be there for them. And one solution is just the fact that you can listen to them.
Give them a listening ear.
Just a listening ear. The problem is the majority of them, nobody listens to me. And I'm actually aware that there are cases that when I have asked my dad, I want to speak to him. When I go to him, he sends me. You know, I've such cases. I wanted a time to speak with my dad, but when he comes in, if I'm going to speak to him, he sends me. Rather than my cry for his presence and my cry to sit up with him is not available. Can we become a little bit more intentional so that we do not have to wait for schools to call us? Let's see. If a child complains about bullying, please listen. Go to school, find out, because this why a few have committed suicide. A few, not very few. Currently, not very few. Please, if you hear your child saying, "The school I am in, I don't want to go back to that school," please listen. Please listen. Find out whether you can do something about it, so that we do not have to regret when we can hardly do anything.
Yeah.
So it is important. I want to share my my views with my my viewers because we are all in it. But let's address what we are able to do. If we do our small bit, then we will have helped the world, helped ourselves, and helped the world. Yeah.
I think that is going to be my take home today. If you clean your corridor, the whole world will be clean.
Yeah.
So if you take responsibility for what you ought to take responsibility for, you will help in the long run because everyone is doing what they ought to do.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And what are some ways we can, or some things that we can do practically to make sure that we manage these stress levels so that they don't go to the extreme highs to things like suicide, substance abuse? What can we do to make sure that we manage it?
One thing, in the course of this week, I felt, last week, a particular day I felt stressed up.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I'm going to do what I usually tell my clients to do. So I became physical exercises. You can either, if you have got a small garden, do gardening, but make sure whatever activity you are doing, you sweat.
Do it vigorously.
So that you burn calories. Because the moment you burn calories, our body will be able to release feeling well chemicals and you feel good. Even when you are feeling awful about what has happened to you, become physical. Very, very important. There are people who can lift weights. There are people who can go for basketball, football, jogging. Just become physical. And that physical activity, let it be vigorous until you sweat. And let it be a little, stress yourself just a bit. That is one thing you can do. Number two, it is also important to talk to a friend. At least talk. I usually say, there are people who say, if I talk to them, they will talk to other people.
They will share.
At times, they even tell you, and don't tell anyone. Don't tell anybody. They usually say anybody. And I usually start off by saying, please don't tell me because I am a person. Because if you are telling me, if you are giving instruction and you are telling me something, and you are also giving me instruction not to tell somebody, kindly I'll tell somebody. Unless you are professional in a confidentiality, but if you fear that somebody will talk about it, please don't fear people talking. I usually say the mouth has got only two functions, talking and eating. If they talk, they have used their mouth properly. If they use their mouth to eat, they are doing well. Please talk to somebody. It is also important you identify something that you love to do. If you love something, go for it. There are people who like cooking, go for it. If there are people who like listening, but quiet music, it will not bring up, unless you are going to dance so that you sweat. So identify something that you love to do and do it. That one, self-affirmation, is medicine for yourself.
Wow. Remind yourself.
You can also go for therapy, talk to a professional. They'll tell you how to manage it. And I also want to say, please, I'll repeat, establish health boundaries for your life in terms of friends, in terms of work, in terms of what is it that I must do, what is it I must not do. I usually say that if I am going to compromise my values to accommodate a friend, he or she is not worthy. So it is important to note what is it that I stand for. They usually say that if you cannot die for something, then it's not worthy for you living. So you identify something that gives you purpose, even purpose. Please identify something beyond yourself and do it. For example, you can help. You can help people that are needy. You can go and do frontier work in the church, in a school.
Yeah.
You can even go and see people that are admitted in the hospital. Go and visit the prisoners.
Yeah.
Something that is greater. Identify something that is greater than yourself. I usually say that until you identify something that you stand for,
Yeah.
then you are lost. And I usually say, until you discover what you stand for, I'm a self, you are lost.
Yeah.
So if up to this time you have not identified something that you stand for,
Yeah.
my viewers and
there's a
listeners,
problem.
please
Yeah.
look for something that gives you contentment,
Yeah.
something you can do free of charge, something you can offer, but must be outside yourself.
Not for
Touch,
you.
touch another life.
Wow.
It is very, very important. Identify, because this is where purpose and destiny we talk
Comes
about.
in, yeah.
I remember one time my daughter asked me, Mom, if today you have got money, all the money you need in the bank, money is not an issue to you.
Yeah.
What would you love to do? And I told her, daughter, I'll do what I'm doing today.
Wow.
I'll still go out and put a smile on people's face.
Wow.
And I think that is the greatest question I was able to answer for my life, deciding on what is it that I want to do. So I want to say you are lost until you discover your purpose. You are lost until you discover why you are living today.
Yeah.
That why must be outside self, so that you also become a change mover in other people's lives.
Wow.
It is important to know that you also redefine your, like time management. What is it that is important to you, and what is? I usually say it is noise. When people complain about, for example, somebody can ask you a very irrelevant question. Why do you go for work daily? Why do you go very early?
Yeah.
Why do you go to church daily? Why? Then I usually ask them, the church is my choice. My time is my time because God has given me time.
Yeah.
What I am doing is my personal choice. Do you have anything to do with what I'm doing? Because it is
it's
choice.
personal.
I usually it is by choice. So please identify what you stand for.
Yeah.
Run with it.
Wow. Identify, take it and run with it. And sometimes you don't have to explain to everyone. Not everyone has to understand why you do it.
No.
But as so long as it makes sense to you and God has approved, take it and run with it. Amazing. These are awesome, awesome lessons that we're getting to learn right here. And now, maybe we can take the question of the day one more time so that we can know what we are discussing today. And the question that we are focusing on is it possible to live a stress-free life? Is it possible to live a stress-free life? We've had people from the streets, they've shared with us, we have learned. But now, if you have a contrary answer or if you want to support, it's still okay. It's still allowed. So you can send in your feedback using our number 0721 105 105. That is WhatsApp, and also normal text message 23814 short code, which is absolutely free, and also MBCI TV Facebook page down in the comment section, and MBCI YouTube official down in the comment section. And after we come back from the break, we're going to discuss further about stress management. But I would say so far, so good. We are learning so many things about stress. At least tumekuja kujua stress is not all bad. Sometimes it's good. It's what pushes you out of your comfort zone. It's what makes you want to go out there, do more, to become smarter, work harder, make decisions. You know, it pushes you. It's a good push. But now again, if it gets to the extremes, that's when it's dangerous. In places when it leads you to substance abuse, it leads you to depression, anxiety, suicide. Now, there is a problem there, okay? And we've also learned about how to manage it. What physical exercises najua, I know there's a problem. Sometimes you don't love it. You don't even want to hear it. But you have to embrace it, okay? Anytime you're feeling low, you don't feel like it, just push yourself, eh? Go for that walk, 10K steps, Maliza. Just move. Listen to music if you love music. Whatever you love doing, whatever you're passionate about, do it. And let's figure out a way to make sure that we balance this stress, okay? Ibaki the healthy amount of stress, not one that leads us to very bad and negative things, okay? Amazing. So let us take the break, but we'll be coming right back. So don't go too far because there's so much more that we still yet to explore when it comes to stress management. So don't touch that dial.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Ni mnyama mgani ako na moyo tatu?
Mbwa.
What?
Mbwa.
The fifth commandment kwa Biblia ni gani? The fifth commandment.
Be careful, huh? At the fifth.
Bombastic side eye.
The fifth commandment.
The fifth commandment.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Do not steal.
Vitamin C iko kwa machungwa na vitamin F
It's about to go down.
Kwa jua.
The fifth commandment ama commandment ya 5 ni gani?
Wa.
Upende mwingine.
I am disappointed in you.
Gani?
Na kwa Luka 52.
Tunga sentensi kutumia neno machela.
Kijana sugu alitiwa machela. Kijana sugu alitiwa machela.
Nataka unitungie sentensi kutumia neno machela.
Alifanikiwa na machela. Alifanikiwa na machela.
Are you ready for spiritual awakening? In this month of June, the Wailing Mothers and Pastors' Wife Fellowship Kenya Nyeri chapter invites you to a transformative conference, the Wailing Prayer Feast 2025. 21 days of prayer and fasting at Kamukunji Grounds, Nyeri, commencing on 8th to the 29th of June. Experience divine healing, embrace total restoration with a dynamic lineup of God's generals, including Dr. Lucy Nganga.
They are not like Joseph. Joseph was thrown in a foreign land, but he had self-government and rule.
Mama Ada Adoyo.
He pointed at a mountain and said, "This is the one I want."
Pastor Julia Karanja.
Contend for your priesthood.
Reverend Evans Chumo.
Watu ambao hawajui kushindwa ni watu walio na majozi.
Pastor T. Mwangi.
You can be young and full of God.
Reverend Mike Bitok.
Your mind is managed by the renewal of the word.
Prophet Paul Moneki.
May God give you more than internal womb.
Apostle Julius Subi.
Certain things will take place in the heavens that will affect the earth.
Apostle David Juma.
Lazima God atapreserve kamondo moja.
Apostle Andrew Nganga.
But when we are prayerless, we become subject to the environment.
And Prophetess Winnie Andrew.
For maono is survive, there must be midwives who will preserve through prayer.
We gather under the powerful theme, positioning a generation through intercession, inspired by Jeremiah chapter 31 verse 15. Don't miss the powerful proclamation march on June 28th, culminating with a powerful climax worship rally on June 29th at 2 p.m. Daily sessions, that is morning devotion from 5 a.m. to 7:30 a.m., morning session from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m., lunch hour from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m., evening service Service from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Sundays from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Boarding at only 150 Kenya shillings per day. Pay via M-Pesa till number 4462620. For more information, contact 0720-674-404. Welcome and be a part of this generational army.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Amazing, amazing. Welcome back from that very short break. Remember, this is a relationship talk show with me, Sylvia Wanja. And today we're talking about stress management, and we have Dr. Lydia Muchai with us. Now, we've learned a lot in the first bit of the conversation. So if you missed out, jua tu venye utarudi uende ufuatilie tu vizuri, so that you don't miss out on anything. Because the lessons that we're picking from here are very, very important. And they're going to carry us for a very long time. Because sababu, we're still in this journey. So we need to figure out a way to manage the stress levels despite what is happening around us. We want to make sure that within you there is peace and there is calm, okay? So that you can keep on moving, you keep on pushing, whatever your purpose is, whatever your destiny is. You need clarity of mind so that you can get to that point. So tag along with the conversation even as we continue. Now, Dr. Muchai.
Yes.
Right now we're in the era whereby we're in the digital age. There is technology, there is social media, a lot is happening. So with the shift in how we do our things and the shift when it comes to digital media and all that, do you feel like it is impacting stress negatively or positively?
I want to say that media is good. It has got both sides. It has... We are here because of media.
Very true.
And we are educating our people because of media. So we can hardly condemn the new era. We embrace it. But well, that way is good. But we cannot close our eyes and say that they are not stress-related issues with media. Pleasantly, there are people who will prefer to be on social media. They will not even talk to their parents. They will not talk to their brothers in the house. And it is such a situation that if they have got a problem, they will post it to the media, while those people that are available in the house, they are not aware. So you can receive a call by somebody that your son is suicidal, you are in the same house and they are not communicating to you. They have only written in social media, "I'm gonna die." What? So it is such. So I wish that we are able to identify so that we do not disconnect completely with our relationship, physical relationship. As we embrace the technology, we also know that there are dangers. For example, it is possible to compare, and it is possible to dream big, even to download big machines, and even you are praying about it. I remember I've talked with one of the students in one of the campuses around, and I asked him what he would love to do. He told me, "I would love to start preparing chips. I need a machine that requires about 1 million. The person who is talking about 1 million, he does not know that he can use a sufuria and the gas that the mother is using to cook crepes.
Yeah, true.
But he only requires, he's actually out for things that are neither here or there, because before you can amass a 1 million, you require to manage your 10,000, your 20,000. So that comparison, because there's somebody who is doing that because he comes from a big family, they're able to do that. Rich. That actually comparison brings stress. It is also important to know that when we concentrate, we are using the screen, that is also dangerous to our eyes. And majority of the people are using specs earlier than
they're supposed to.
Earlier than supposed to. too. Even their eardrums.
Yeah.
You know, at times you hear the music because I thank God that I have. There was a time one of my sons brought those earphones, and he just decided to put on top of my ears, like I felt that, like the world has gone loose.
Yeah.
I didn't imagine that is the kind of you see them in eardrums, and please, I wish you understand that they are neither here, they are in another world. They have already spoiled their eardrums.
Yeah.
They cannot, even as you see them putting the TV full blast, already the eardrums are spoiled up. So as we use media technology, please, we should also be aware that there are negative impact in our lives, and we require to be cautioned about. You can also find that there are people who actually they have learned about vices on from technology.
Yeah.
For example, those that are watching horror, horror movies.
Yeah, the horror movies.
And actually, majority of those that are perpetually on the screen, they become vulnerable to stress, depression, and other mental related problems because of the fact that they have listened even wrong content.
Yeah, true.
And I'm sure that even some people have started things like betting because of media, social media and technology, because they are available and they are prompts that are telling, even some, they have even gone to the extent of taking those, spending money that they are unable to manage their finance, because money is available on technology, on the phone. They are able to use the money, and you find that they are not able, they are unable to meet their financial obligations. They are living large while they cannot, they are not at that level. So it is important we note that although technology is good, we thank God, then we should actually be able to put a boundary to know what is it that we are learning that is not right. Even those people that there are a number of vices that people have picked from, even our dress code.
Yeah.
Even
you pick
our
from what
dress
you
code.
see.
Yeah.
You pick from what you see.
Even what you read, the content you read. At times, even I imagine that our children are strangers because of the fact that we do not know what they have read, what they are getting into, just because it is within, they can assess it. It is important to know that we should actually educate them, and this is why we are doing it right here, that we should, and especially it's young children, please, let's put gadgets to control what they, let's limit it. Even if we use it for running, you buy a phone for your children for running, please, as they use it positively, please control the other bit, because it is important, so that we just don't leave them alone and controlled without any guidance. And they will find, even those that are suicidal, majority of those, even bullying in the social media. So all these things are happening under your watch, and you're not aware. So it is another thing, and other vices, even they are able to do a lot of vices using their gadgets. So please, let's watch, not only watch, let's give them the necessary guidance.
I've loved what you said about how there's so much information, almost so much content on social media, and sometimes you don't even have control over what you watch. You are scrolling through TikTok and inakuletea tu vitu negative, because right now negative news sells. So if you take so much of that, at the end of the day, unaulizwa, how are you, unasema uko na stress. You don't even know where the stress is coming from, but it's from the content that you're consuming. Now, it even affects you, how you reason, how you live your life. So again, for the parents, regulate what your kids are watching. For the grown-up sphere, screen time, limit yourself. You don't have to be on the screen all the time. Only when it's really necessary. Na pia ujeke tu mipaka kidogo, so that you can also take care of your wellness. It's very important for you to be well, okay? You need to be well holistically, okay? Amazing. So when it comes to stress, what are some of the extreme repercussions of having stress stress that goes, let's say, unmanaged or untreated for a very long time? What are some of the extreme measures that will happen as a result?
I want to say that stress is a mother to depression and anxiety. It's a mother.
Yeah.
And actually, they coexist.
Yeah.
So if you allow chronic stress, this will affect your body system, the way they work, the way your body works, and can actually trigger depression and anxiety. That is chronic.
Yeah.
High levels of stress can still push you to anxiety and depression. So if we do not, and this is why it is important, you identify red flags for stress so that you do not, the stresses do not graduate to anxiety and depression because the two requires treatment. So they requires medical attention. So before we move on to the next level of getting into depression, getting to anxiety disorder and depression, it is important we address the stresses. It is important we are able to self-evaluate. You just feel, what am I feeling? What is it? What is going on with me? If there is an issue that I found myself thinking about it today, tomorrow, the best I can do is address it. Otherwise, if we allow it to continue, if it's something that happened and I have no control, for example, I've lost a loved one. Somebody have walked out of my life. Things that I have no control, it is important to seek for help. And you can also use the various strategies that we have talked about. If you don't go for therapy, you can still do practical, you can adapt practical measures like exercises, talking to somebody, getting into a routine that you're able to reschedule your programs, you're able to manage yourself. Please address your stress. Don't allow the stress to graduate to give birth to depression or anxiety.
And to get to extreme levels.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. And when it comes to faith and spirituality, where does it come in when you're dealing with stress?
I want to say faith is very, very important. The Bible defines it as faith as it is the substance of things hoped for. So it gives you hope in the face of
challenges,
calamity, and challenges. Faith also gives you meaning. For example, death has occurred. And we have no control of death. All of us, we are vulnerable. None of us is dying tomorrow. But I'm sure as I'm speaking, there are people who have received the news right now. There are people who received yesterday. And there are people, it is continuous. If it's not in your place today, thank God, you hear it into your neighbors. But it is important that even when death has occurred, what is it? What is it that God, you can drive meaning in the midst of calamity through faith. You can still find out what is God saying in this situation. What is it that God is saying? If you look for meaning, you are able to handle it. The place of prayer in calamity, in stress. Hey, kama chati yenu ni kama yetu. Enda huko piga duru, omba loudly. Iyo shouting, crying. You are addressing very painful emotions. Tell God what you cannot tell anyone. And God is non-judgmental. He's such a counselor. Tell him what you are feeling. Even when you have been left, when nobody seems to understand. And you, after having a very nice, intimate prayer session with God, utatoka tu hapo ukisikia, it is done, I'm better.
Yeah,
Nothing
I'm
have
good.
changed, but I'm better.
My heart.
Because I want to say that there are things you never change. We will learn to cope with them.
Yeah, with
We
time.
will have to alter the situation. For example, in phase of death or loss of a job, you will alter, what else can I do? What else am I able to do?
Yeah.
You must reframe. And at times reframing is important.
Yeah.
When they tell you we have found yourself not very useful in this organization,
Yeah.
rather than carry out that label. I can still do something different.
Yeah.
I can still sweep the street clean until I am employed as a sweeper.
Yeah.
I can wash my clothes clean until a neighbor can call me to wash her dishes or clothes, and I can put food on the table. So it is important. It is only in faith that we can reframe.
Yeah.
It is only in faith we can pray to God. It is only in faith we can trust God to do that. Life tomorrow be different.
Yeah.
You know, what kills us, not what has happened. It is what we tell ourselves about tomorrow. But because I am not sure, none of us is, the two of us, we are not sure of the next minute.
Very true.
But if I think God will be there with me tomorrow, I will sleep quietly and smoothly. But if I think tomorrow I have no job, tomorrow I'm not sure that I'll put food on the table tomorrow, I don't know how I'll wake up. Are you sure? You know, are you sure you will wake up?
Yeah.
We can trust the one who holds tomorrow to hold our life. We can trust him because he's faithful. It is also important that when we pray, we are handling very, very painful emotions. We can reflect on those emotions.
Yeah.
For example, it is only in the Bible we are told forgive. And even when you think somebody has messed up with you, when you go before the Lord, you will have something to repent about. Even when you think, nimekosewa, nimetendewa, Mungu atakwambia, you have got a role in this. Repent, forgive. And as you let other people go, you also realize that you are also free. Just as the Bible says, let the captive free.
Wow.
And you also be free. So, and that is the only medicine we have for relationships.
Yeah.
For giving. You know, at times I speak to people in the offices and they tell me, please, one thing I'll tell you, don't tell me to forgive him or to forgive her.
Yeah.
I have no other medicine.
That's
Even to my
one.
viewers, please, it's only forgiveness that you heal. Forgiveness will heal your heart.
Wow.
Forgiveness will bring reconciliation. But unforgiveness is one cause of stress.
Yeah.
So even those that are in relationship, even when somebody has broken the very core of your relationship, and you think that trust has gone, please tell God to deal with your heart and find it in your heart to forgive.
Yeah.
It is biblical, it is important.
Wow. Find it in your heart to forgive. Forgiveness, sometimes it comes with a lot of baggage and you feel like it's hard, but holding on to that bitterness is even harder. So you'll rather just release it so that you can gain your freedom, okay? Remember what we said here? I think we said it severally. I think Pastor Benjamin mentioned it here a while back. He said that unforgiveness is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. They'll keep living, but the poison will keep hurting you. So just release that poison, okay, and free yourself and live a life full of freedom. But you can't do it alone. You need God to help you, sawa? Because I know the human heart, sometimes it's hardened, so you need God to soften it in areas whereby you're feeling like, hey, hapa hivi kidogo mimi siwezi msamehea, alinivunja moyo, ask God to help you so that you can work your way through forgiving. Hata wewe, you have sinned, you've fallen short so many times, but God amekusamehea over and over again. So you also need to find it in yourself to forgive others around you, okay? Amazing. So we are slowly drawing nearer to the end of our show. But before that, maybe we can tackle this question of, we talked about how sometimes the people around us do affect us when it comes to the stress that we have. So how can the community or the society at large ensure that let me say it's friendly enough not to let stress levels get to a particular, how can the community support individuals who are facing stress to make sure that it doesn't go to extremes?
I want to say that we are all in this.
Yeah.
And I want to say among the things that the community can do is that to encourage people to seek for help. So it is important for the community to be involved in establishing health facilities. It is also important for the community to be responsible of their own people. For example, you find maybe your neighbor's child, that somebody you have known that they you know them, but of late you have seen that the way they are walking. For example, somebody who is depressed, they have no energy to walk. They might not be eating. They might not even be greeting anyone. You think they are seeing you, they are walking dead. So if you identify such a person, and maybe it's your neighbor, or just say hi to them and become interested. At times you can invite them to your house or you can visit them. Let them know that at times, because at times one feels lonely and one feels that nobody cares. And I want to say this, and especially with the current generation that appears victim of everything. At times, what I hear them telling me, to a point I've always wondered, are they entitled to something? Do they have a role in doing something? I remember one time my children told me that, you mom, you told us to work hard, which we did, but you never told us that you'll never be employed, no employment. While currently employment is not a guarantee, but please, I usually say idleness is not an excuse. Find something you can do with your own hands. Irrespective of the fact that you have got a degree, a master's, a PhD, and you have not landed to the career
that you wanted,
the dream that you have had or through. But you can agree to make your hands dirty just to become busy and also put food on the table. So me, I usually say, please, even at my level, I can still do anything so that I do not become idle. Is it that you can do small business? Is it that you can offer your services to your neighbor who has a shop? Please identify something that you can identify with as a person and go for it. Rather than sleep, be in the social media 24 hours. But if if you become physically active, you can also, as the chief, you can even go to a school and volunteer to clean up. Actually, I usually say that if I hear somebody saying he or she has got nothing to do, please identify, go to a school, volunteer to teach mathematics to class, whatever level, or any other subject. And I'm promising you, you will not fail to identify something
to do.
Just identify where you are, the community you are living with, people who knows you. Allow them to interact with them. You can even be coaching the football. You can even get into a group and go to your MCA and tell them, we have got a field. What else can we do? Can we be using the primary school or the high school that is next to us? Train. Identify a talent within yourself rather than sleeping 24 hours. Complaining, complaining about the government, complaining about the parents, complaining about everybody except yourself. Please, do something. And because you are in good health, please identify something that you can do, even to train, even to take children to school, rather than the parents that are waking up. Please identify something that you can, even the neighbor's child, rather than the mother who is struggling. Tell them that, Mama so-and-so, can I take James to school on a daily 5 days? And I'm sure if you do that, by the end of the month, the person will be ashamed not to give you something.
Yeah, a little
Utapata tu
appreciation.
an appreciation.
Yeah.
Kutoka hapo, you might get another child, and another child, and another child. Already you have got a salary. You have your own credit. 2,000 without complaint. Hata ukiambia mzazi uingie kwa nyumba na packet of milk, takuuliza ni nani amekupea. Please do something. Hydrate. Yeah.
Just do something. Find something in your hands to do.
Yeah.
And also I've loved the fact that you've talked about the victim mentality that most of us do have. Like the world owes us something. Sometimes, not even sometimes, the world owes us nothing. We have to work to get what we want. And the moment you decide to let go of that victim mentality is when you'll realize your own flaws and you will work towards changing the system. You'll work towards building your own system and building something that is going to work for you. Okay? Amazing. So we are drawing nearer to the end of the show. Now, before we get the parting shot from Dr. Muchai, let us get a chance to get the relation tips from Joyce and Deso so that we can get to know what tips are we learning when it comes to stress management. So let us get the relation tips.
Hello and welcome to Real Asian Tips, and today we are going to talk about stress management. Here are 5 practical tips for managing stress effectively. Number 1, practice deep breathing and mindfulness. Try simple techniques like inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4, exhaling for 4. Do this for a few minutes when feeling overwhelmed. Number 2, prioritize and plan wisely. Break tasks into small steps, use to-do lists or planners and tackle the most important things first. Number 3, move your body. Even a 5-minute walk, stretch or short workout can help reset your mind. This helps reduce stress hormones and boost mood-enhancing chemicals. Number 4, talk it out. Share with a trusted friend, mentor, or counselor. Sometimes just being heard makes a huge difference. Bottling up emotion increases stress. Talking releases emotional pressure. Number 5, set boundaries and learn to say no. Know your limits. It's okay to decline requests or step back from obligations that drain you. Taking on too much leads to burnout. Boundaries protect your time and peace. This has been Real Asian Tips, and my name is Joyce Anderson.
Yes, amazing. Real Asian Tips with Joyce and Deso. Amazing tips that have echoed everything that we have touched on in this particular show. So at least this is a bit more compact, the way unazazichukua, you go sit down, look at them and also implement them. We said here at the Relationship Talk Show, it was a resolution this year to form healthy relationships. And the best way to do that, if you're stressed, it's going to affect your work. It's going to affect your personal relationship. It's going to affect how you relate with others. At ile day to day, labda mtu wa matatu, mama mboga pale sokoni, it's going to affect how you relate with them. And we said healthy relationships, relationships are the basic foundations of human interactions. So you need to ensure that they are healthy for you to be able to grow even holistically. Sawa sawa? So those are very important tips that Joyce Ndeso has shared with us. Na siku moja ni kama tutamuita hapa kuja salimie watu. Tunasikianga sauti peke yake. Maybe there's a time we're going to organize so that we can see the face behind the voice, okay? And get to chat with her one-on-one. She's been giving us amazing tips, then relation tips that I hope we are implementing. Si kusikiza tu. We said you listen and you implement it in your life so that it can have an impact, okay? So that your life can be transformed. And as you always say hapa ndani ya MBCI TV, tunabadilisha maisha kila wakati by the grace of God, okay? Amazing. So as we wind up, Dr. Muchai, we can maybe touch on someone who is watching us at home right now. They are going through stress, and it's imefika levels and you see healthy whereby they're zoning out in places where they shouldn't zone out. They're not able to think clearly. What can you say to them?
I'll tell them,
yeah,
we are here, we can help.
Yeah.
They can either reach out for help,
yeah,
they can call us, they can talk to a friend,
yeah,
they can also pick up. Right now they are in the house,
yeah,
let them become physically active. Just as we have heard,
yeah,
even the breathing in exercises
very important.
Just the way we were taught in primary school.
Yeah, breathe in,
breathe out.
Yeah.
If you do 10 times, you realize that a bit of stress, a bit of
tension
has left you.
Yeah.
it is also important to note that if you are going through something, there are people ahead of you. Are you able to reach out to somebody you know that they're struggling with what you have gone through? And most likely you learn that there are people who are ahead of you in every aspect of life, even when you're thinking it's only myself. Please, you are not alone, the others. A support group, you can also join a support group. That I'm sure because you people, you are digital, there are applications that they are available. You can join those groups and you can share your views, you can help one another. The help is within your reach. It's only a figure tip away from where you are. You can use your phone to help yourself. You can join a group. You can also call a counselor. You can also you can become practical and address it. And if it is somebody who is stressing you, at times there is the 4 rules, the 4A rules, where you avoid the stress, you alter, you adjust to it, you adapt to it. At times you can, when you talk of altering, is where you think, after all, when they usually say if it's a relationship, after all, there are others that you come.
You'll meet more people.
You will, they say beautiful ones are not yet born. Please, it is important, you can still alter that. You can also, if you do not avoid, if there's something you can avoid. You can alter, you can adapt, and you can continue to adjust. So that life continues. So it is important you understand that you have got what it takes, even when you think you are not able. Please reframe it, that it is not the end of the world. You have a tomorrow, you can face tomorrow, and you are going to fight other more challenges in future that will require your attention. And most likely, and I want to say this, if you go through a situation that is difficult, build capacity, you are going to help others. Maybe you are only ahead of them, the others you come for help. So don't think that God has forgotten you. Why me? Take it positively, become positive, take it positively, employ a positive mindset. I usually find out, even when something has gone the opposite of what I expected, I usually reframe it and I ask what has been left. What is it that I'm able to do with this particular section? What is it that I can do? And when you start thinking, even as they tell us that when one door closes, another one opens. There are several. It's a matter of time, and I want to say it's a matter of time. It is not the end of the world. Don't amplify the problem. Please see what is it that I can do. Become a little bit more positive. Just as we started off, see what is it that if I've lost something, a job, thank God that I'm healthy, I can work. If today you are not very okay, look for what is it that it is important to feel pain so that you also understand you are human and you'll be able to understand what other people go through. So it is important you understand you are within what other human beings are going through, and you are just like them, and you can reach out for them, and you can also help others. Yes.
Wow, amazing. I think the balance is important. There will be good times, there will be bad times. There will be happy times, there will be sad times. And in all that, it's important for you to make sure that you still maintain your well-being, you're still okay. So don't let the stress levels go too high. Make sure that they are at an optimum level. Faith is very important. Trust in God. Despite how bad the situation might look, despite how many things are going wrong, just have faith that God is still working and He has a greater plan for you. And it's going to come to fulfillment. It's all just in a matter of time, okay? Amazing. So thank you so much for coming. That was very, very amazing. It was a nice session about stress management. And I am hoping for the viewers at home that you've picked the important points that we have learned from here. Not just to pick and just leave them at that. No. Picking them and also implementing them in your everyday life. Okay? So that you can be able to manage. Tumekubaliana ya kwamba stress is part of our everyday life. You cannot say that you can live a life in stress-free. It is part of our everyday life. But again, how you respond to it or how you manage it is very, very important. Let it not get to the extremes whereby it will harm your well-being. It will affect how you operate day in, day out. Okay? Amazing. So let us get Did You Know, even as we wind up, to know what amazing, so that we can know what amazing fact we're going to be sharing with friends and family this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning. Okay? And if you look at your screen, we have the Did You Know inasema holding a loved one's hand relieves pain and stress. Wow, that is a very amazing fact. Holding a loved one's hand relieves pain and stress. Is that true, Dr. Muchai?
Very, very important.
Wow.
Even listening to them, telling them, being there.
Yeah.
Being there as they tell them their story.
Yeah.
At times they only require listening here.
That's all
so when you touch them, the physical touch has got, although for counselors we usually say, but if it's a loved one,
it's a loved one.
It is the touch communicated all of it. So it is important to hold their hands at that particular time.
Wow.
It is also important if they tell you what they are feeling. Communicate that back to them. Tell them, I have heard what you have gone through. I understand that it has been tough on you. That understanding alone communicate empathy to them that you are with them, whatever they are going through. It is important to be there for them. Be intentional. That you can be available. When I talk of available, not when I'm talking to you and you are on your phone. It is when I can see that emotionally, physically, we are together. I'm able to see your body language that we are together. Communicate that to me. It will address my stress. It is also important not to be judgmental. Don't ask the question why. Unajua wakati mwingine unaambia mtu ni wewe ulijiletea.
Wewe ndio ulijiweka hapo.
Ni wewe umejiweka hapo. Please allow the person giving the story about stress. Give their story. It is their experience, it is not your experience. It is what they are able to do and what they are unable to do that you can help. It's not you, it is them. So please become non-judgmental. Don't ask the question of why, because that one puts a judgment on them. It is also important to note that their experience is unique and they want to be affirmed, even for their statement. So if they say what they are feeling, it is their subjective feeling. And at times, I usually say, it is them who are feeling. You cannot exactly realize, I must say what they are feeling. It is their subjective feeling that should be affirmed. Value what they are saying. Be there for them, because it is important so that they can feel heard. Very, very important. At times, you can also refer to them to a counselor. Or even another significant person. At times, you might find somebody who has gone through what they have gone, and they have successfully done it. You can refer to them. You can connect them to a group that is dealing with that particular issue. It is possible for you, the person, it is possible for you to look out for them, a group they can join, that they can work with, because it is important. They feel that they have been supported by the loved one. At times, the home, if the home, the home is our nest. If the nest is warm, then we are able to bear the world. But currently, we require to redefine our families, even if we are all in families. So whatever the families, let's make sure that is it possible for us to make a conducive environment for us to feel safe in that family, irrespective of that family, so that we do not have to complain about who is not there, who is not in, who is supposed to be there and not there. At times, I hear people saying, my mother is a single lady. No, she has done it. I'm a single parent. Whatever is there, let's utilize it for our benefit. Because at times we might not have all the factors exactly the way we want them. But we can still utilize the little resources, whatever the situation is, we can still make it better for us to thrive. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So all that we have derived from that amazing fact, but it has also brought out something that I even had someone mention about. We have been taught so much in our education systems, which is no offense to teachers. They're doing an amazing job, but we've been taught so much, but we have not been taught how to handle, how to talk to a grieving friend. You have a friend who has lost a loved one, you do not know what to say to them. And it's a situation that's affecting so many people. So maybe a little later we'll be having a conversation on the same, because I know it's a really big issue. If someone has lost a loved one, what do you say to them? How do you show up for them? Sometimes when I guess too, you're like, okay, I don't know, maybe this will work, maybe this won't work, and you end up maybe making the situation worse, or it becomes an awkward situation because you don't know how to handle the situation. So maybe a little later we'll have a chance to look at that grief and loss and how to comfort someone who is grieving. How do you show up for someone who has lost a loved one? How do you show your support? How do you stand in that gap? How do you so many how to use. But that brings us to the end of today's show about stress management. Ama tuanze show ingine all together because ni kama tunaenda hiyo direction. But yeah, that brings us to the end. I trust and hope that it has been an impactful show. And everything that we have learned, please implement. If you're in a position to share it widely with as many people as you can, so that we can be able to curb stress. We can be able to manage it to levels whereby it's healthy for us, so that as much as it is helping us grow, let it not be what holds us back from achieving what we ought to, okay? So that is it right here at the Relationship Talk Show. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. Enjoy your viewing wherever you're watching us from. And also remember, guys, compliment someone next to you, okay? Tell them they look beautiful or something nice, okay? It goes a long way. So be kind. Use kind words to communicate to those near you. And I will see you guys next week, same place, same time. But for now, bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your viewing.